Hi everyone, excuse me for eating. It was Tuesday, the 11th. Today, it was exactly 4 months since Liz went back into hospital the second time. And on the 16th, which is Sunday, it'll be exactly 6 months since she went into hospital the first time. It's nuts how much the time has flown by, you know. There's my verbal tick again, you know. I've got to stop saying that, man. I had a really, really bad night's sleep. Really bad. Intrusive thoughts all night. Just, my brain hates me. It doesn't matter how many people have a go at me or moan at me or dislike me. Nobody, and I mean nobody, hates me as much as I hate myself. And I just, man, some of the places my brain goes. I really wanted fish and chips last night. I'd set my mind on fish and chips. I hadn't eaten all day. I was going to order some fish and chips. They weren't taking online orders. Now I realised I could have got in the car, but I was already settled in at home, you know. So I ordered Domino's instead. I wasn't really in the mood for pizza, but I ordered it. It wasn't that nice. No, it was fine. It's just that when you're in the mood for something else, it's not quite the same. So I've still got half of it left. This is not like me at all. It's 10 to 3. I've worked a bit longer today because I had a meeting that I didn't have to go to, but I wanted to show willing. So I'm quite busy today. I say busy in meetings. No, I suppose I've been doing a bit of stuff as well. It's not just been meetings. That's not fair. So, yeah. We've got an election going on over here at the moment. And it's looking pretty certain that the Tories are going to get absolutely hammered. And the way they're behaving in this election, I don't think they want to win it. I think they might have run out of ideas. They're promising stuff and people are saying, well, why haven't you done it? Why is this being promised now when you've had 14 years or whatever to do it? I've said this online publicly. So here's the thing, right? Here's my political history. When I was growing up, my mum was a rampant Tory. My mum's a bit right-wing actually these days. Excessively so, I think. Anyway, I grew up. Remember we had like mock school debates. I was always the Tory. When I moved to live with my grandma, I was a card-carrying member of the Tory party. I was distribution officer for the local ward. Our local councillor, the guy who wanted to get in, was a guy called Stephen Philpott. And there was me, Stephen Philpott, and one other guy. 3 of us, every night, pounding the streets. But we were constantly working against the local office to get leaflets printed. They say, you can't use the photocopier today, we're doing tickets for the Mercado. The Tory office Conservative club was treated more like a social club than an actual political party office. Anyway, my guy won that vote with 78 votes to spare against this Lib Democrat guy who was neither Liberal nor Democratic, head of the Gosport County Council, or local council, sorry, Gosport Council, whatever. He was absolutely furious, demanded 2 or 3 recounts. That was, I say, the height of my political career. We had, in our local committee, there was like, they were all quite old people. And I had a map drawn up of the ward with distribution areas set up. And they would always say they couldn't do it because they were infirm or unwell or had other commitments. So it always ended up me doing it. So basically, 3 of us against an entire squad of Lib Dems who would have a leaflet every other day. We'd put a leaflet out maybe once a week. They'd immediately have one out countering it. We would have 1 leaflet to maybe 5 of theirs because we couldn't get them printed. Anyway, we won that election. Anyway, the point I'm making is I am no longer a card-carrying member of any political party. Believe it or not, I said I'd never do this. I voted Labour in the last general election. And it was because I was disgusted with Brexit. And I would do anything to try and stop Brexit. So I voted Labour. Wasted vote. I voted Labour when Jeremy Corbyn was in charge of Labour. And I don't even like Jeremy Corbyn. Right? It's bizarre. I can't explain it. I wasn't voting for him. It was a vote against Brexit, if that makes any sense. But the fight had already been lost by that point anyway. So the point I'm making is I don't have a political affiliation right now. And I've said this publicly. I'm going to be voting on one issue only, and that is defence. Defence, defence, defence. Because whether some of my online friends believe it or not, there's a war around the corner. Putin doesn't like the UK. I mean, they're carrying out assassinations on British territory, right? He hates us for some reason. And we've got a land war in Europe. We're woefully underprepared for a war. And the point I'm making is I know there are lots of issues at stake. I've got, trans friends who are worried about not being recognised as people and all the rest of it. But my point is defence, defence, defence. Because if you're not in charge of your own country, then all those other issues, you don't even get a say on them. Defence has to be the priority here. And I'm not set on any particular party. If Labour put forward a better manifesto for defence, I'll vote for them. Defence, 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 right? Because, like I say, if we lose control of our country, then all those other issues just kind of go away, really, because there's nothing you can do about them if someone else is calling the shots. You have to stay in charge of your own country, so it's got to be defence. So, I'm not saying who I'm voting for, because I don't know. I'm genuinely a proper, actual floating voter these days. And I'll be voting along defence lines. And then if we can keep control of our country, if we keep NATO, if we keep the alliance, we keep the peace in the world, then we can argue about all the other stuff to our heart's content. But if somebody else is in charge of the country, you don't get the luxury of arguing those points anymore. That's the point I'm making. So that's today's ramble. Okay, that's today's ramble. It's about the election, and we'll see what happens. What are we, a few weeks away now? I just think the Tories are set on losing this. I don't think they want to win it. I don't think they've got the heart in them to win it. I think it's inevitable they're probably going to lose. I'm not voting Reform, though, I'll tell you that much. We appear to have a Hitler appeaser, at least one Hitler appeaser in Reform. It's just like, or a would-be Hitler appeaser, someone who's saying, oh, we should have been better off not engaging with him or whatever. Okay, so we'll just sacrifice millions and millions of people to not going down that topic, but that was a just war. I don't think how anyone can dispute that. Well, there are people that dispute it. Look, I'm in a funny sort of mood. As I say, I didn't sleep very well. I've got intrusive thoughts coming through my head, left, right and centre. Very dark thoughts about what to do with myself. And I'm trying to avoid thinking those things, but they keep popping in my head. I am trying hard at work, but it's just so difficult at the moment. 6 months now of this. I also might have done it over the weekend with a number of videos I put out, but it's a distraction. I use my hobbies and my interests as a distraction from the real world, because the real world kind of sucks, really. And that's what I do, is I try and go into my own little world. So that's what I've been doing. And these videos, I think, help in a way. Helps me offload. So, there you go. I am nearly at the hospital. I think I've had to stop at just about every single traffic light, and there's a road being resurfaced, which made me go very slow. But it is now 1 minute past 3, and according to my timing, this speech here has been going on nearly 12 minutes. You know these things are unscripted, right? I don't have a script. I might have the occasional note to write when I'm reviewing a Doctor Who episode, but there's no script here. This is all just coming straight out of my mouth, which is probably why I talk so much crap. I hope everybody watching this is having a very lovely day, and that you don't mind me blathering all this rubbish. It is, after all, called Total Ramblings. I've picked up 4 subscribers this week. That's really good. 4. I'm probably going to lose a bunch now after this video. Anyway, I am going to go now, because I am now in the hospital grounds, and I'm just about to park, and I'm not very good at parking and I don't need distractions of talking at the moment, so I'm going to stop now. I'll see you later. If I'm completely honest with you, I'm actually feeling a little bit unwell. I've got a headache. I think it might be lack of sleep or stress or something. And I've just got out of the car, and I'm actually feeling a little bit dizzy. So I just think I'm tired. I'm tired of life. So I just want to get in, see Liz, sit down, and I just want to sleep. I could sleep for a fortnight right now. I'm sorry, I don't mean for this video to be a worries me kind of thing. It's my birthday soon, by the way. Buy me something nice, please. Busy today. Yes, sorry. Liftings. Today, I am the magic car that appears around the corner as other people are trying to leave. Just leaving the hospital. Liz had an X-ray barium scan this morning, and they were assessing her swallow with different types of food. Roast potato got a bit stuck, but she had a chocolate Rolo, and she had a slice or two of banana, and that was okay. So we were just going through with the speech and language therapist lady about what she might be able to eat. She might be able to eat some dolly mixtures, possibly some like munchies, stuff that can melt in the mouth. Definitely not things like marshmallows or stuff that gets all gloopy and sort of gooey, but small things, maybe like those little pink shrimps you get, the sweet ones that you just nibbling them. So I've got a little list of things. Rice pudding. So you can probably do rice pudding. Oh shit, there's an ambulance there. I've got lots of rice pudding at home, so I will take some in. Sorry about that. There's an ambulance coming out. I didn't see him till the last minute, so I had to pull over. Yeah, anyway, then Liz got upset and had a go at one of the nurses, because when she goes to bed, she uses the commode and then she gets changed, and we're trying to tell her that she should really be going to the toilet. She doesn't want to walk to the toilet because she's tired. And it's slightly frustrating because it's a tiny bit of extra exercise and it will help her get fit better, but she doesn't seem to want to help herself, and she says everyone's having a go at her. So then she just spent the rest of my visit being upset. So didn't end very well. I've got to go home now and do some more tidying up because my cats have decided to spread cat litter all around the house again. Oh well. So I don't know, today's not been the best day. I'm just knackered, and I'm dreading another night like last night, with all these intrusive thoughts coming into my head, trying to make me do things. So, anyway, as I'm in a bit of a low mood, it's probably time for another episode of this. Yeah, hi. So, today we're talking about my involvement in the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria, which happened on the 28th of June 1914. Now, obviously, as I am responsible for everything, or so the world apparently believes, I must have been responsible for the assassination of the Archduke, and thus directly responsible for the start of World War One, and ultimately responsible, of course, for the start of World War Two, which arose from the end of World War One due to German resentment, and then, of course, the Cold War, and ultimately, of course, the situation we're in now. So I'm afraid you can blame me. So yeah, it was obviously me. I was disguised at the time, despite having not been born. I was disguised by a 19-year-old gentleman by the name of Gavrilo Princip, who was a member of a group called Young Bosnia. And essentially, what happened was the Archduke was, in Sarajevo with his wife. And I was one of a group of assassins armed by the Black Hand organization. And what happened was he was in a car, and I rushed out and I shot him. And as a result of that, and as a result of all the alliances of Europe, ultimately everybody was quite keen to go and have a war, and it resulted in World War One, the Great War. So I'm afraid this was my fault. It is true, again, I hadn't been born, but obviously it was me because everything is my fault. I apparently have the ability to cause people to make complaints and then blame me for them. So obviously this is my fault. Everything's my fault. That's the whole point of this series. It's me basically asking you to absolve me of my sins. And yes, I am ultimately responsible for two world wars and possibly the greatest cataclysm of the entire 20th century. It was all me. It was all me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I pulled the trigger on Archduke Ferdinand despite having not been born yet. I'm sorry that several million people would die in the subsequent two world wars, and it would lead to the invention of the atomic bomb. And I'm sorry that it still causes division within the Balkans and Europe in general. I'm sorry. What I've said. I'm sorry. What more do you want from me? Blood? Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode of What Can Andrew Be Blamed For today. I certainly found it very exciting. I didn't, because I haven't recorded it yet. I don't even know what I'm going to be blamed for yet. Right. Anyway, I think that's enough of me talking for today, because you're probably all getting very bored and very depressed, and I'm very sorry about that. It's a vlog of my life. As I say, I don't just show you the happy bits, all the made up social media bullshit. Hey, look at how great my life is. This is me, exposed to the world. This is my therapy. I figure if I expose myself to the world, it kind of makes me immune, in a way. I'm not living a pretense. My moods go up and down. They're evened out a lot more with the antidepressants, but they still go up and down quite a lot. And I'm very sorry that today's episode is a down episode. I will try and make an up episode. If you enjoy what I do here, although I can't think why, please remember to click the like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. You might also want to check out my website, www.worldsbestestpoet.com, if you fancy a laugh.